All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Welcome back, everyone. Michael C. Luckman is my guest this hour. He is the world's leading expert on celebrities and their UFO paranormal experiences. A disciple of the late Planet X author Zecharia Sitchin, Michael has studied ancient Sumerian, Mayan, and Egyptian culture and had the rare privilege of interviewing, Don Tomas Calvo, the Mayan Pope, and other leading Mayan elders from the Yucatan and Guatemala. Michael's first book, Alien Rock, The Rock and Roll Extraterrestrial Connection, was read by Prince William as well as leading Hollywood celebrities. Michael taught the nation's first college course on rock music at the New School for Social Research in New York City. Hundreds of colleagues in colleges and universities have since added rock music to their curriculum. Michael is currently working on a sequel to Alien Rock titled Rock Stars, Hollywood and the Alien Contact, Celebrities Inside Secrets. Michael is the founder of Cosmic Majority and director of the New York Center for Extraterrestrial Research. And listen to this, Exonation. Bill O'Reilly, the host of Fox's news channel, The O'Reilly Factor, told Michael, "You're the guy the aliens are going to call." Joining me now from New York City is Michael Luckman. And Michael, welcome back to the X Zone. Always great having you with us.
Thanks, Rob. Good to be with you.
All right, so tell me, what is going on with President Clinton?
Well, it was very, very, very unusual. It just knocked my socks off, this appearance of Bill Clinton on the Jimmy Kimmel show.
Mm-hmm.
What's so unusual is that presidents or former presidents just don't talk about this subject ever. They run the other way, as evidenced by President Obama, for example, when Will Smith's kid, Jaden, asked him in the Oval Office about Roswell. He said he couldn't confirm nor deny Roswell, which the kid right away knew and said that means he knows about it. So for Bill Clinton to go on there and to say so many different things, such as that he expects that he wouldn't be surprised if there's an open landing someday.
Mm-hmm.
That he said almost the identical words to that President Reagan said in 5 different speeches, that the nations of the world might forget their individual differences if they were confronted with a extraterrestrial race coming down, particularly if there were any possibility that they might want to take us over, which is not the case, but nonetheless, he said that. He said that he had looked into Roswell, and he had looked into Area 51. He said a whole lot. And what really got my juices going was what he said about Roswell, because I know for a fact, because I had inside sources at the time in 1995 when a report was put together financed by Lawrence Rockefeller, a late billionaire philanthropist here in New York, the oldest of the 4 Rockefeller brothers. And Rockefeller was really pushing the Clintons, both Bill and Hillary. He was using Hillary's kind of as a point woman inside the White House to get Bill, to take a stand on Roswell and open up the White House files on Roswell. But moreover, Rockefeller actually he was serving this up on a silver platter practically. He had organized and orchestrated a group of former military people, a couple of dozen of them at least, who had worked at the Pentagon in the 1960s and 70s, to prepare to go before Congress if they could testify under presidential immunity so they wouldn't be prosecuted, and tell what they knew about Roswell, and it was a whole lot. He avoided that, so he is full of bunk when he says that he investigated Roswell and there's nothing to it and there's no government cover-up. Now, even more to the point, that really tells you where the Clintons are at. During Rockefeller entertained the Clintons at his JY Ranch in Jackson Hole, Wyoming in 1995. he had virtually a captive audience with them because he had announced that he was going to make a donation to the Clinton re-election campaign, but that they would have to, or at least the story that broke in the New York Daily News, which I leaked to the news, was that they would need to listen to, the Clintons would need to listen to basically a lecture from Rockefeller on UFOs. Well, one morning, Hillary is up earlier than Bill. Bill's still asleep at the ranch.
All right, what we're going to have to do here, Mike, is we're going to have to take a cliffhanger. I have to take a commercial break. Exonation, Michael C. Luckman is my very special guest this hour. We've had the pleasure of having Mike on before. He's a great guest and a good friend of the X-Zone. His website is www.cosmicmajority.org. That's www.cosmicmajority.org. I'll be back on the other side of this commercial break with Michael Luckman as we continue investigating the world of the paranormal and the science of parapsychology here in the X-Zone, a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. And we're heard worldwide on the X-Zone Broadcast Network and our growing family of broadcast and satellite programming. We'll be back on the other side of this break. Don't go away. With each new extreme weather event or terrorist act, it becomes increasingly obvious that we live in uncertain and challenging times. We all buy car insurance. Why not collapse and catastrophe insurance? Matthew Stein, an MIT-trained engineer and green builder, has written 2 outstanding books to help people prepare, plan for, and deal with everything from minor situations lasting a few days to full-on collapse. Matt's first book, When Technology Fails, is a manual for self-reliance, sustainable living, and surviving the long emergency. This massive book covers the gamut from first aid and emergency preparedness to alternative healing, renewable energy, primitive living skills, and 18th century technologies that could be critical to your comfort and survival in a long-lasting crisis. Matt's second book, When Disaster Strikes, is a comprehensive emergency preparedness handbook and survival guide. When Disaster Strikes is an essential item for every family's go bag. Both books are available at all usual sources. There's a wealth of totally free information posted at whentechfails.com, and author-signed copies may be purchased at mattstein.com. That's www.whentechfails.com and www.mattstein.com. Named one of the world's greatest psychics, Elizabeth Joyce is now giving readings worldwide via Skype. Elizabeth Joyce is recognized for her clairvoyant ability to help find missing persons, her analysis of dreams, past life regression work, mediumship, and her accurate predictions. Elizabeth has been a frequent guest on the X-Zone radio show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, now for several years. For an appointment with Elizabeth Joyce, call 201-934-8986 or Skype at elizabeth.joyce. And for more information, you can always visit Elizabeth Joyce online at www.new-visions.com.
Do you have a dis-ease that you would like to alleviate through a natural means? Have you been contacted by angels, ghosts, or even extraterrestrials and want to validate these experiences? Or would you simply like to speak with someone who can help you find your life's purpose? I'm Dr. Joseph Mara, and I'm offering my services free of charge for first-time clients contacting me during the month of April. These free consultations include angel card readings, guided meditations, life coaching, and energy healing. If you have always wanted to explore these types of experiences but were skeptical or simply could not afford them, then take advantage of this free special offer. Contact me through my website, aguidinglight, spelled LITE.com, to schedule your consultation today. today. Until then, I offer you love, light, and laughter.
Welcome back, everyone. Michael C. Luckman is my very special guest this hour, www.mycosmicmajority.org. Mike, before we left, we were talking about what happened at the late Lawrence Rockefeller's JY Ranch in Jackson Hole. And this is going back to Wyoming in 1995, I believe.
That's correct.
So
what happened? Yeah, what happened was that Hillary was up early one morning. They were there for a couple of weeks, so he really had a captive audience. And she asked Rockefeller not to bring the subject up again to her husband, Bill. And Bill later said to Rockefeller that he compared the UFO subject to a tar baby, and that is a folk tale.
Yeah.
And it basically where a figure is hit with a stick, and the more you hit it, the stickier it gets. The more the stick adheres to the figure, or to the doll, whatever that is.
What wasn't the tar baby in the Uncle Tom's Cabin story?
Yes, I think that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
So what he was saying really essentially was that he didn't want to, that it was a political quicksand, and once he got involved with it, it would just pull him in. And so he really didn't want to get involved with it. So Rockefeller did make the donation to Bill's re-election campaign, and they were given a formally secret report that Rockefeller financed called UFOs, a UFO briefing document, the best available evidence. And this was circulated to congressmen and senators, and even John F. Kennedy Jr. Asked me for a copy, which I got to him. Mm-hmm. Now, what's in that report, is not earth-shaking, to tell you the truth. I mean, we know, as people who have been involved in the UFO field for many years, we know that we've seen most of the pertinent documents and stuff. However, Bill Clinton probably hadn't, nor Hillary, and it includes documents, either formally top-secret documents that pertain to, it includes documents that talk about UFOs visiting sensitive nuclear weapon storage areas. And it also talks about, in at least one document, about commercial airplanes encountering UFOs. So there are real national security issues and issues of public safety potentially involved in all of this. And for Hillary Clinton, for example, as a former Secretary of State, when she was Secretary of State, for her to ignore all this, and for Bill to ignore all of this, is reprehensible.
Why do you think that the government just stays away from it? Is it that they know and they don't want to tell the people because they believe the people are not ready, or are there some other nefarious reasons behind it?
Well, I think it's in a number of factors that play into this. One, of course, is that this cover-up has been going on for so long, involves so many administrations, and whatever's going on behind the scenes. The government would look extremely bad. But I think they don't think that we can handle it. And I also think, more importantly, this was not an accident. Bill Clinton saying what he did on the Jimmy Kimmel show. He could have talked about a lot of things. Okay, Kimmel did ask him, but nonetheless, he didn't have to stay on it, and he stayed on it, and he gave pretty direct answers, although he avoided the truth in certain cases here. But nonetheless, he did say that they investigated Roswell, they investigated Area 51. That aliens, that he wouldn't be surprised if there was an open landing someday, and that I don't think that any of this is accidental. I think that we're being prepared. Now, this has been said many, many times through the years, and you always hear, well, this is going to be the year of UFO, full UFO disclosure and stuff. I don't think that. I think that this is a major